Hey fantasy football fans, are you ready for this year's draft special? Right after this. Welcome back, you beautiful fantasy football fans. Happy you can join me on our third draft special. I can't believe we have been doing this for 3 years now, and this year I am more excited than any other year. There is so much to talk about, and we just got to get right on into it. Now, what I'm going to do is give you guys targets at each position. We're going to get lit, and we're going to give you some sleepers, things you guys got to be looking out for. So let's get right into it with the quarterback. And here are some of the targets for the quarterback this year that you guys should be targeting. First, we have to talk about who you want to draft and get on your lineup first, and everybody wants him, and that is Josh Allen. As you know, Josh Allen is a fucking monster of the game. We're going to stay away from Pat Mahomes. We're going to stay away from Lamar Jackson because, look, they're going to have great seasons, but I feel like Josh Allen is going to extend his game. He's going to be equal with Pat Mahomes, and you're not going to have to draft him in the first 3 rounds. You might be able to sneak a Josh Allen in round 4, so look for him, and if you can't get a Josh Allen, well, maybe try to take a look at a guy named Joe Burrow. He sat out last season, so that only means he's ready for a comeback. He's loaded at the wide receiver position. They helped him on the line just a little bit, not too much, but I really feel Joe Burrow is going to come back and do just what he did last season, light up the scoreboard, hopefully stay injury-free, and that's going to be a great QB to grab kind of late, maybe in the 7th to 10 round range, wherever QBs are falling in your draft. But there is another guy you're going to want to grab really late. He might not even get drafted at all, depending on your league, and that is Zack Wilson from New York Jets. I can't believe I'm saying a quarterback from the New York Jets, but I have mad faith in this dude. He is accurate, he throws the ball downfield, and he's had a really great preseason getting comfortable with all those weapons that he has. He actually has weapons there, and he has a decent run game, which is surprising. And if that Jets defense can stand up, well, you know what? Zack Wilson might just be a decent quarterback, and they might actually have a chance to do work in their division this year, which is fucking nuts. So hopefully you guys could target some of those quarterbacks. Again, if you guys have any others that you think I should be targeting, let me know in the comments. But right now, let's get into those running backs. Now this year, let's not get cute really with running backs. They are going to go fast, they are going to go quick, and let's just talk about the guy you should be drafting number 1 overall in all your leagues. I don't want to hear Saquon Barkley. I don't want to hear Christian McCaffrey. You know who I want to hear? Derek motherfucking Henry. And why Derek motherfucking Henry? Because he is the greatest running back I've seen in years. 2,000 yards in 2 seasons, looking for that 3rd season. They haven't changed anything, but did more for him this year to get him more work. So I expect a huge year from him, especially adding Julio Jones, which is going to release some box for him, which could get him more running room. And to give Derrick Henry more running room is a crime. So get him in your lineup, and if you miss out on Derrick Henry, another guy who I feel is going to perform just as much as Derrick Henry is Jonathan Taylor. Yes, Marlon Mack is there. I have a feeling he's going to take some load away, but I don't think Marlon Mack can remain healthy for all season. So Jonathan Taylor, come week 6, might be carrying the bulk of the load. So you might get a steal with Jonathan Taylor around 2 and 3, putting up round 1 numbers. So look at him. And another guy you're going to need to look at in an offense that is exciting as fuck, Raheem Mostert. Now Raheem Mostert is going to be a must start, really. They have a lot of work over there. Yes, they have some other running backs that I might talk about later, but I think having Raheem on your lineup is going to be a great start. He's an awesome RB2 to have, and if that's who you have as your RB2, you're doing great work. Now for the last running back that I am going to mention, this one's a deep one. I'm not sure how he's going to look, but I did just mention his quarterback, and I feel like Michael Carter, even having a huge season coming out of UNC, is going to have just as big as a season in New York. I feel like Michael Carter is going to get the bulk load there. He's going to be the 3 down back. He's going to put up some numbers. So if you could get him really late, that might put up those RB1 numbers. Look at Michael Carter, man. He's a nice little sleeper to grab. So that's kind of the RB situation there. Those are the guys I'm going to want you to target. Again, we're going to talk sleepers later a little bit, but right now those are the guys I really want you to hit. So let's talk about the wide receivers next. Now, we've talked about some of the greats already. We talked about Derrick Henry, talked about Josh Allen. Now, we have to talk about who could be the first, and I mean the first, wide receiver MVP of the season. Because there has never been a wide receiver that's won the MVP. And this guy's name is Devante Adams. He's playing for a contract. Aaron Rodgers is pissed off. He knows who he needs to throw to get the ball. They got Randall Cobb in there to move the things around. But really, Devante Adams is going to have an even better season than he did last year. So if you could grab Devante Adams in round 1, maybe 2, if he slips to round 2, get your ass some Devante Adams. Now, if you can't get Devante Adams, that's fine. There are so many wide receivers this year. But another guy I'm going to say who's going to blow the fuck up, and a lot of people are high on him this year, is CeeDee Lamb in Dallas. CeeDee had a great rookie season, and that was without Dak for most of it. Early on, Dak was finding him, and then it was just a clusterfuck towards the end of the year, but still able to put up some serious numbers, which is pretty incredible for a guy like that. Now, CeeDee has Dak back. He has the full complement. Zeke is healthy, so I think that CeeDee is going to come out and surpass Amari Cooper as the number 1 this year, make Michael Gallup look silly. Even though both are good to have on your lineups, the guy who's going to show up this year is CeeDee Lamb, so make sure you have him in your lineups. And one last guy I'm going to talk about that is going to have a resurgence this year is none other than the old grandpa AJ Green. Now, AJ Green is coming back. He could be healthy, which is exciting to see AJ Green finally healthy. So hopefully he takes some of that edge off the outside of the other guys there and is able to catch a lot of the balls being thrown. I feel like AJ Green is going to have a resurgence. So look at him this year. He could be a nice wide receiver too if you miss out on any of the other guys. Could be a good wide receiver 1 towards the end of the year. But AJ Green is a nice target to have. But now we should talk about some of those tight ends, and we're going to talk about literally one of the greatest ones of all time. And that dude is Travis Kelce. Now, Travis Kelce should be a round 1 grab, and a lot of people are going to miss out on him, and that's fine. But Travis Kelce puts up numbers that are far exceeding any other tight end out there. He was literally the number 2 wide receiver in yards last year as a tight end. So guys, take a look at Kelce. If you could get him on your team, you're really going to like that in your tight end position. But if you can't, there are 2 other guys I really feel are going to fill the slot that you're going to be able to grab pretty late that did come through last year. And one of those guys is Mike Gesicki. Now, Mike Gesicki turned it on last year. And again, had 2 quarterbacks that were thrown to him. So this year that he's really in tune with Tua, and I feel like Tua's going to be having to throw the ball a little more, that Mike Gesicki staying healthy is going to have a solid top 15, maybe even top 10 tight end season this year. He's going pretty late, so I think you can miss on the Hawkinsons, the Wallers, and all those guys, and really get a Gesicki that's going to put up most likely equal numbers by the end of the year. Maybe not in the first week, but I feel like by year end, he's going to start tearing it up. And one last tight end you should definitely take a look at, and I mentioned him in last year's, and I feel like this is his year, even though he wasn't there. Blake Jarwin. Blake was that guy I was really high on last year to pick late, and really he's slipping in drafts, man. And guess what? Dak loves throwing to Blake. He's healthy. So look at Blake Jarwin pretty late. I feel like, again, you miss on Gesicki, you're going to have equal numbers with Jarwin, and it's going to be pretty late. Now, tight ends are thin, as always, and there's some great talents out there. So check out Jarwin. He could fill that void pretty late with you guys, who could be that tight end that ends up getting you to the playoffs. And now lastly, we have to talk about the defense you have to grab. In some leagues, you just stream them, and that's fine. I do in certain leagues you don't. So for those leagues, let's talk about 2 defenses you should be looking at. And some people aren't even thinking that they're going to be good. And I'm going to tell you top 5 for both this year. And the first one, the fucking Panthers. The Carolina Panthers last year did absolutely incredible towards the end of the season. They added more depth to that defense. Jeremy Chin is just amazing moving around that field. Burns is tearing it up. I really think this is the season the Panthers show again who they are on the defensive side of the ball and probably also on the offensive side of the ball. Even though I didn't talk about those guys, I'm really high on literally all of them. So Get the Panthers, and if you can't get the Panthers, another team you should be looking at is, of course, the Browns. Why? Because they have a sick fucking defense. You have Myles Garrett. You have so many guys there that are going to do work, and I think this is a redemption year for them, that they have to show up and do things. So I expect that defense to show up week in and week out, put up some serious points, so you could probably grab the Browns very late in your drafts. And now lastly, as this thing burns out, I'm going to talk to you about a couple sleepers you guys need to have. The first sleeper you guys should be looking at is in San Diego, and he's backing up Austin Ekeler, and that is Larry Rountree. He's more talented than Austin Ekeler. He's faster, and he breaks more tackles. I have a feeling that, again, towards end of year, we're going to start seeing Larry Rountree take over that backfield. And Austin Ekeler has not had a season where he's remained healthy, so expect Larry Rountree to show up and take his spot by week 4 when Austin Ekeler's on the sideline with another injury. Now, another running back sleeper I think you guys should grab, again in San Francisco, probably one of the highlighting offenses of this year. And if Trey Lance is getting the start, I want Trey Serman next to him. I want that rookie running back that's going to be running that option, because that guy knows how to do it. And he's fast, and he's going to hold up really well. So I know I mentioned Raheem Mostert, but back him up with Trey Serman. That's one of the best handcuffs in this league this year. It might not be the McCaffrey handcuff that's going to give you the 30 points, because I don't think a guy's going to be like McCaffrey. But if Mostert goes out, Sermon's going to give you those same numbers, man, week in and week out, if not better. So look at Trey Serman. And the last sleeper I want to talk to you guys about is on the Carolina Panthers, and his name is Terrace Marshall Jr. Terrace showed the fuck up this preseason. He was one of the top wide receivers. He's a rookie. He was their second round pick. And I know you have Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore there that are looking to get balls, but you really don't have a solid tight end. Yes, Dan Arnold to Sam Darnold is going to be a connection, possibly, but I think Terrace Marshall takes the top off of defenses, and he has that jump ball capability where at the end zone, he's going to be looking at him more than anybody else. So take a look at Terrace Marshall. You might be able to grab him in a nice 8 to 10 round and get him as a wide receiver too. So those are the sleepers, and those are the picks. Now, if you guys have anyone else you guys want me to target, or you think people should be targeting, please comment below. Let's help out the community down there. And I want to thank you all again for joining me on another season. We are going to be doing weekly DraftKings picks. We're going to probably go live and probably do it with other people once a week. And we're going to have a lot of fun this season. I hope you all are looking forward to it just like I am. We're finishing this one up. And as always, we're going to take a dab to celebrate this brand new season in hopes that we're going to either win a million, win our leagues, or just have a fucking great time doing it. Am I right? Dab time, folks. Let's do this. As we load up the dabs, thank you all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you so much out there for joining me on another season. Good luck to everybody out there. I hope you guys win your league. Don't forget to keep doing what you're doing for the community. Stay beautiful. And most importantly, stay lit.